The birthplace for the Longines Global Champions Tour. Welcome to the spectacular Longines Tops International Arena, known for its incredible facilities, a location that riders and grooms alike love to attend. We're in the south of the Netherlands in Valkenswaard for stage 10 of the Longines Global Champions Tour. The sun is attempting to break out. We are hopefully waiting for a lovely summer's afternoon with the incredible grass top that is standing by for us today. This is stage 10 as we get ready for what should be a fantastic LGCT Grand Prix. What better way than to start off the afternoon, to start off stage 10 in Valkenswaard with a local Dutch rider, a man who has won here before. He knows exactly what is needed to conquer this incredible grass turf. We welcome Michael van der Vleuten into the studio today. Michael, welcome. For a man that spends his life on the road, it's probably a nice relief to have some local shows. Nice to come back to Valkenswaard.
No, absolutely. I think it's definitely one of the nicest venues we have worldwide. I think it's a fantastic place to ride together with your horse. I think the horses are feeling very well on this beautiful grass arena. I think we have quite many spectators today, so I'm looking forward to it.
They will be cheering for you, I have no doubt. How much do you remember of 2019, that victory back here in 2019? What do you think of if you reflect back on that memory?
Yeah, I remember it was a fantastic atmosphere, and as you said, you have, of course, in your home country always many people standing behind you, wanted you to win. So when that works out, that was a fantastic feeling for me, and I really got the great support from the audience.
How do you feel 2025 is going? Because it feels like you're flying under the radar somewhat. The consistency has been there. You are scoring at each of the stages. I think 4th currently in the rankings now. So it feels like a quiet season for Michael van der Vleuten, but you're very much knocking on the door. How does the season feel for you?
As you said, I was, to be honest, from the beginning, not really busy in my mind for the overall already. But then, yeah, the stages I jumped, it went actually pretty okay. So now,
Are you changing that thought? Are you starting to think?
Yeah, now you think, you're 4th, and I mean,
you still have a few scores to go as well. By the way, exactly. You're only on 6. So you got some scores to go.
So then you think, oh well, let's try to focus on it and try to keep the consistency in my results, and then one time it will go better than the other. But yeah, I think there will be a possibility to get into the top 3 score overall. Yeah.
Do you identify particular shows that you try target? Let's say now you have 6 of your 8 qualifying scores. Do you start to look ahead and choose them wisely with stages that you know you perform well in, or do you come to all the shows and see what works? How do you plan it?
I try to make the best plan for my horses. Like I have 2 horses at the moment for the GCT, and with definitely my main horse Beauville. So I try to make a good plan for him. Maybe I have to skip until the end, like maybe 1 or 2 globals, but you need them sometimes for the horse, you know, to pick some rest for them. But I almost can do them all. So yeah, let's see how we can keep the consistency.
I don't think that we've really watched the stage where Beauville hasn't looked comfortable. Beauville comes here today. Talk to us about how Beauville feels ahead of today's LGCT Grand Prix. What's the feeling been like in the stage?
No, I must say the qualifier on Friday felt actually very comfortable. We had an unlucky fence down towards the end, otherwise we would have had the win. So I think he's feeling good. That's already the most important for me. And then, yeah, I have to see that I don't make any mistakes myself today.
Ticking along nicely in the championship, as you pointed out. I'm sure that everyone in the grandstand here is going to be shouting for you later on. So best of luck throughout the afternoon, and the seat remains open for you come tonight.
All right, thank you very much.
Michael van der Vleuten joining us in the studio today. He'll be jumping Beauville in today's LGCT Grand Prix. Is it going to be a Dutchman victorious in front of his home crowd? The crowd will be certainly cheering for that. We'll find out later on today. But as it stands, let's take you down a little walk of memory memory lane, this incredible facility, and how has it come about? What was the thinking behind developing the incredible Longines Tops International Arena? We send Rosie Turner to find out.
The Longines Tops International Arena is the spiritual home of the Longines Global Champions Tour. So who better to talk about the history of this fantastic place than Ellis, our wonderful event director. Ellis, thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedule to come and talk to us. It is the most sensational venue. Where did it all come from? Where did it start?
Well, it started mid-90s from the vision of Jan Tops. We started with the vision of horses first. So what you see in this venue, what's so very nice is that horses don't have to stop anywhere. People have to stop for the horses. So that's more or less the vision. And it's created by, if you have this space, why not make it a vision accessible for all the world best riders, the kids, all the people who can use the venue and make it directly one of the best places in the world to jump.
And it is that, isn't it? I hear from so many riders that this is the place to come, not only because, like you said, the different arenas, but I think there are 512 built boxes as well. Tell us about that.
Yeah, everything is fixed. So the people come, they arrive, they have a fixed stable, some with water drinkers. The parking spot for the trucks is well organized. People are willing to help to unload, so everything goes smooth upon arrival. Then they arrive here, they have 2 nice warm-ups and 1 covered warm-up to train. They have the best footage in the world on the grass arena. All the people who work here, I think they're very willing to help everybody, to make everybody happy.
You've been here from the very beginning. How much have you seen this change?
When we started, nothing was set up. Everything was set up in tents. And even the stable area was built with tents. And the changes that we don't have to dig the water out anymore in the night, that we just can go to sleep and everything runs smooth. But also the setup here is completely different than it was before.
It is on a very high level, and talking of high, we are on these bridges which are superb. You can see both the grass arena and the sand arena. How important was that with the vision?
Very important, because as you see the main the VIP building is in the middle, so it always has been set up like grass and sand. Even when they built this, it was not allowed to drive on the sand, but people can see from the VIP both arenas, which makes it very nice to be in the VIP, but also for the people, they have time to take a walk around.
You've got some of the top riders in the entire world versus some of the youngest riders in the entire world, which are often children of the top riders. How special to you is that to see the differences?
We have to look into the future. So those kids, if they have the possibility to jump along with their mom or dad who's jumping on a high level, and they can compete here, it makes also a little bit of a family thing.
So you've got future stars, you've got current stars, you've got some of the best horses in the world, the best facilities in the world.
We have the best of the best, but we also, and that's what I would like to mention, we also have the best staff in the world.
Yeah.
We have the best crew, the people are willing to help. It's like a big Tops family. And they're all having fun together, but they all know what's working hard means. And they are willing to do the extra step and the efforts. So every year we try to lift it up 1 level.
It's a magic place. I've seen it, you know, we're just before competition starts at the moment, so it looks pretty empty, but my goodness, as soon as this competition starts, it is full, from anyone on the carousel to lots of people buying food and enjoying themselves. The stands are packed in every area. It's a really wonderful place, and thank you for taking up your time and chatting to us today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
For anyone that has ever spent a significant amount of time at the Longines Tops International Arena, they will know that Ellis is one of the most outstanding characters and one of the most recognizable characters here at the arena. So very nice to have her on the show and give us a bit of a walk down memory lane and some explanation as to how and why the Longines Tops International Arena has become known as the birthplace of show jumping. Before we dive too far deep into Valkenswaard, as always, we'd like to catch our breath and just reflect on what brought us to this point. This is stage 10 in the south of the Netherlands, but just a few weeks ago, we found ourselves in the heart of the United Kingdom at the doorstep of the Royal Hospital, Chelsea. Let's reflect as to what took place in stage 9 in London.
Welcome along to London, to the Longines Global Champions Tour of 2025. It is leg 9 of the world's greatest show jumping series as we find ourselves in the capital of the United Kingdom. First to go, Niels. Now the turn back to the last. How fast is he going to go to it? Really nice round, a wonderful round indeed. One of the fastest partnerships in the jump-off is in Ben Maher. Is this going to be enough? He's got to jump the last and leave it up. He's flying along. Will that win it for him in London? We will see. Ben Maher, point break. Christian Kukuk and Checker 47 for Germany. Look how quick he's going, but he's actually given up a little bit of time, but he got a brilliant shot on the turn. Now, how fast can he go on the turn back to the last? 40.79. That's the time to beat. Is it to beat for Christian Kukuk? Can he get there? Yes, he can. For the last time in London, Gregory Waterley, Bond, James Bond, Day. No, it isn't to be. Christian Kukuk wins it on Checker.
When I saw Ben, honestly, I thought, wow, that's very, 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 very difficult. But if he is on fire, I know that we can win anything, and I had to really take all the risk I could possibly do. It's just really incredible what he's doing, and it's an honor to ride him.
Christian Kukuk said that if he were to ride that jump off 10 times over, he reckons that he would never be able to do again what he was able to do in London in the previous stage. That's how remarkable it was. That's how unique it was. Describing it somewhat as a once-in-a-lifetime performance. That's how good Checker was, Checker is, and Christian Kukuk is as well. Take nothing away from potential championship ambitions of Christian Kukuk now in the second half of the season. Speaking of championship ambitions, let's take a look at what the standings look like now, the overall rankings coming out of London, coming into Valkenswaard this week. How good does Gilles Thomas look at the top of the table? Well, if you recall, Simon de Lestre failed to qualify for the LGCT Grand Prix of London, which gave Gilles Thomas a real big cushion, a real big safety window for him. The big news to come out of the south of the Netherlands today is that Simon de Lestre has not qualified again. That is 2 back-to-back LGCT Grand Prix that Simon de Lestre has not been able to qualify. This gives Gilles Thomas even more opportunity, an even bigger cushion, a safety window. It also allows the riders like Andreas Schouw, who is very early to go today, by the way, but Michael van der Vleuten, Christian Kukuk, even Peter de Vos, Scott Brash, etc. It gives them an opportunity to close the gap on second place, Simon de Lestre. As it stands now, Gilles Thomas is very comfortable and looking very good for that title. If he jumps well today, even perhaps a 4 will still give him good championship points. If he goes clear and gets into a jump-off, well then, all of a sudden, this really, really does become the year of Gilles Thomas with a handful of shows still to come. But you might be asking, how does this championship work? Because surely if I come to every single stage and perform well, no one will catch me. Well, that's why rules have been created to try and make this as fair as possible. How this begins to work then? Only a rider's 8 best scores will count. So it's no longer about who rides the highest amount of volume, it's who rides the best over 8 scores. If we were to consider that, the championship table takes a bit of a change, because based on average points per stage, and that starts to become important now, Gilles Thomas, the championship leader, understandably, is scoring more points per stage than any other rider. But take a look at Christian Kukuk, who's only registered 5 scores. He is scoring, on average, 26 points per stage. It is practically a podium at every single stage. That is why he is seen as so dangerous this season. Simon de Lestre, he has 7 scores still waiting to register his 8th and final score. Important to note, well, that Gilles Thomas today will register his 8th score for the championship. But Michael van der Vleuten floating around, Andreas Schouw, even Natalie Dean, Peter de Vos, Dennis Lynch and Jérôme Guéry still have plenty of scores to register. But that starts to show you already And maybe there is a Gilles Thomas, Christian Kukuk fight that might be brewing, that might be starting to develop now towards the back end of the season. That becomes incredibly important. But you might be asking, where's Max Kuhne? Where is the defending 2024 LGCT champion? Why don't we see him there in the mix? Well, been somewhat of a different season for Max Kuhne. We took some time to sit down with him and hear the thoughts of the defending champion on how things have gone in 2025.
This season I'm a bit unlucky with my top 3 horses. They are not really in the top shape, and all 3 of them. And yeah, just no working, that they come back, and yeah, also working on younger horses for their coming.
Do you think that has impacted your LGCT season as the defending champion this year?
Definitely, definitely. I do my best, and then we see what comes out. You know, we can't force anything. We can just try to do our best, which is for sure not always my best and our best. Yesterday I had a terrible round with Electric Blue, and I just rode shit. Yeah, the riders know, because it needs a lot of consistency to get that title. You need a lot of good results to be in front at the end, and that means consistency. And for consistency, you need your horses having in a good shape for a long time of period, and that's what we all want. You know, I think everybody is more looking for consistency than for one quick result. At the moment, my main goal is to bring my 3 top horses, which are having the top results, also getting them back. They are all fully ridden now, and we train them up, and we start to jump with them. Electric Blue has his first show here again, and ESC up to Chaco and ESC Julius Caesar are also coming up the next weeks again, and yeah, getting them back into shape and then performing again. I'm always planning, and I have my whole show plan ready for the whole season and also for the next season already, and then I think, okay, where I want to go with which horse, and how's the preparation, how do each shows fit together for the horse in preparation for the next horse, for the next shows and the upcoming shows and everything. And but then of course it never exactly happens like that. Many things happen in between, and we have to adjust a little bit again and make a lot of decisions and hope that more decisions are the right decisions than the wrong decisions. I bring the horses to the show, and yeah, some of the horses have these skills to win LGCT Grand Prix. Not all of the horses have that yet. Some are just not fast enough yet. Some are not experienced enough for that. Some are just not ready yet. But I will bring Electric Blue to Vienna, I hope, and Julius probably to Rome again, and then EIC up to Chaco to Riyadh. So that's all on the paper, and we're working on that to make that true. Yeah, this is not one of the Grand Prix I have on my plan where I can really perform yet, because it's the first big class for Electric Blue, and I haven't jumped in any other bigger class. So, okay, he's a genius, we will see, but he jumped last week, he jumps this week. He's a little bit tired maybe because he's not yet in full rhythm, but he needs to get into it and he needs to build up the strengths. So we take that for that, give him some experience and getting some strengths to get back in shape. So I'm not really have it on my plan that I perform super well, but I want to make a good round, good riding.
Important in the long term, correct?
Yes, exactly.
We certainly haven't seen the last of Max Kuhne, but it once again just reminds us how intense a deep Longines Global Champions Tour championship run really is. How much it takes out of you, how much it takes out of the horses. This is an intense marathon. It is certainly not a sprint, and it shows you how prepared you need to be when it comes to rider availability, horse fitness. Max Kuhne is now making sure that there is still many more good seasons to come in the future. Speaking of today's stars here today at the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Valkenswaard, let's bring Rosie Turner into the show. Rosie, talk to me about the start list. What are some of the names that we see, the big names, perhaps some names that are missing as well? Who stands out for us today on that start list of yours ahead of today's Grand Prix?
Yeah, thank you, Mark. I actually want to start with what you just said there, is that some people are missing, and there's a big reason for that, which is a bit different this weekend. Most weekends that we see, sort of if you drop 2 penalties in the qualifying, you do get in to the Grand Prix, but that is not the case this weekend. We've got 18 of our riders qualified with a clear round, and the rest were only on full penalties. So if we start with Andreas Schouw, he qualified with 4 penalties, which in normal times would be very much middle of the pack, but in this week, that is the end of the pack, which is very interesting and shows the amount of amazing riders and horse combinations that we have here this weekend. But let's have a look at some of the favourites, starting with Andreas Schouw, who brings in Napoli, who's come 6th in Monaco with a clear. He was 6th in Cannes as well and 4th in Shanghai. The horse has been jumping clear all of the LGCT Grand Prix this season, which is a huge, huge feat. We've also got Kim Emmen, and I've put her on my list as well because she does bring in a newer horse, Helix, who's never jumped on grass before, but she said he was feeling really, really good. I have just seen her though, and she looked very, very focused, so we've left her be to walk this course, because a lot of these riders are walking this course over and over again, which I'll go into in a little minute, just to talk about how tough this course is going to be today. We've obviously got Katrin Eckermann coming in, such a brilliant rider with Chao Li. Chao Li's been so consistent, such a fabulous horse, but what I didn't realise until today is it's never jumped an LGCT Grand Prix, so this is the first time we'll be seeing Chao Li in our LGCT Grand Prix, which is hard to believe actually by the way she's been jumping. Kukuk coming in as well. Harry Smulders on Monaco. What a fantastic horse this is, and of course they won the LGCT Grand Prix in Cannes just a few months ago, so they've got to be up there with the favourites. We're then going to have a bit of a break. Michael van der Vluten's bringing in his top horse, Beauville. Such a fantastic horse, 5th in London just a few weekends ago and feeling in really, really top form this weekend. Scott Brash with Hello Chadora Lady. This combination won the LGCT Grand Prix in Saint-Tropez and in Shanghai. Could they get a 3rd LGCT Grand Prix this season as a combination? That would really be some feat. Peter de Vos brings in a young horse as well with Primo, but he's known this horse for a while. They bred him as well, so it's definitely one to look out for. Sophie Hinners is in there, Marlon Bayer-Johnson, Gilles Thomas, of course, bringing in Kalista, and we top it off with Ben Mayer at the end there. I've spoken to a few of the riders about this course. It's going to be a really tough one. Hopefully we'll grab a couple for a course walk in a minute, but I have chatted to one of our top riders earlier on today with Sophie Hinners. Let's take a look at what she had to say about today. Sophie, another big day today, but you and Sinclair are in such fantastic form. How much are you looking forward to the Grand Prix?
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward. We have beautiful weather, beautiful arena. So yeah, we are very excited, and I had a very good feeling the other day. So I hope we can have a good performance today.
He's still quite young, but he seems really qualified at this level already.
Yes, he's just 10 years old. He had an amazing season last year, being 9 years old and jumping already these Grand Prix. But yeah, he's keeping his shape, and he jumped already some very good rounds in a few Nations Cups this year, and also in Aachen he was very good in the Grand Prix, so I think he likes also the big grass arenas. So yeah, I hope we can have a good round today.
He's been brilliant as well in the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix, as we've seen him not quite getting the win yet. Looking at the competition today, do you think today could be your day?
It would be great if today would be our day. Yeah, first we need to deliver a clear round, but then definitely if we come into the jump-off, we will try.
As you said, he's given you a really good feeling over the last few days. Does he feel fitter than ever?
Yeah, he feels very good. He actually had a bit of a break before this because we want to have him very good here, and so I think he's very fresh and he feels very fit at the moment. Yeah.
We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Nice to get the thoughts of Sophie Hinners today ahead of the LGCT Grand Prix of Valkenswaard. But after Rosie Turner spoke about the start list there, let me just remind you as to how this Grand Prix closes. You have Jolly Mitleneo, winner in Madrid earlier on this year as an LGCT Grand Prix champion. You have Marlon Bayard-Jonsson on the incredible H&M Indiana, a multiple-time champion. That goes into Gilles Thomas, the man who has won a huge amount over the last 12 to 18 months, and our current season leader. And that then goes into Ben Mayer, who is the last man to go, the only three-time LGCT champion, and that's just the last 4 riders on the start list. We have an incredible lineup of the best 40 of the weekend here in Valkenswaard to compete for today's title. And before we go, Rosie promised us some more interaction, some more thoughts. I believe she's standing by alongside Fernando Martinez Soma. Let's get some thoughts on today's course walk. Rosie, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. You would be correct. Fernando is alongside me now to walk, I think, probably one of the toughest lines on this course, if I'm right in saying, and it's the final line of this course. Why is this so tough?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit in between. You have an option here of 4 or 5. Normally, I would say almost all horses are going to go on the 4. Okay. Yeah, I have a little step, so in my case I still don't know, but normally it's a little bit following the 4.
Are there any horses you're going to be watching before that might have a similar stride to see what they do?
Not really. I think the ones in the beginning of the course have a big step, but anyway, I will just keep my eyes open.
Well, let's walk this one. And for those people that don't know how to walk a line, let's just show them how to do it.
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's see if Fernando can count at the same time. So what he's doing is every 4 strides of us is a single stride of a horse. And as we come to it, just let us know where you hit 4 strides.
20. So, yeah, it's 20 meters. Normally we count from the base of the jump. Every 4 meters is 1 stride. Yeah. So in this case, you have you need a little bit space for the takeoff, obviously, and the landing. So it's a little bit tough, a little bit tight, a little bit forward, sorry, the 4.
But when you've counted that, you've roughly hit about 4 strides around here. So it's quite a big takeoff for this upright at the end of the course.
Exactly, that's right. So you want to do a good jump there that your landing is a little bit in front of the jump, not land so deep there that you can have a little bit more space to get the jump from there, and then be able to get on the 4 not so flat. It's a big vertical towards the in-gate, so it's really easy that the horses get a flat jump here. So you really want to make the 4 with the horses on the hind end.
Obviously, what we don't see is your brains when you're going around this. How quickly would you have to change your decision when you've landed from that to be able to bring them back?
Well, normally, definitely, you want to get a good approach there, and because it's a wide oxer, horses are going to give a good jump no matter what, right? So normally that decision, you will have it already in the turn. Unless something happened there in the turn and you end up adding 1, then for sure the 4 are going to get so long. So I would say the only decision to doing the 5 is if something goes wrong in the turn and you end up deep in this oxer.
It's going to be tough to get the 5 though in here as well. That'll be very short.
It will be very short. I think it's definitely a following 4.
I was speaking to a few of the other riders as well, and Harry Smolder said to me that it's a very technical start, a very scopy middle, and then a technical end as well. You have to have everything today, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, when don't we, right? Every Grand Prix.
It's an LGCT Grand Prix.
So for sure, they're all tough and they're all tricky. Definitely this arena allows the jumps to be bigger and a little bit scopy than the small rings. But yeah, every Grand Prix, I think it's with.
You've had a phenomenal weekend already with Jupe jumping, double clear as well, and it's just been wonderful. You bring in High Five into this LGCT Grand Prix. Tell me a little bit about him and how he's feeling.
Yeah, well, he's feeling great. He did Monaco. He jumped really good there. Normally, it suits very well the tight arenas. So obviously this is not the case, but he's a super horse, very brave. So yeah, I'm looking forward to how he's going to jump today.
Well, listen, we'll let you go because I know the course walk is about to end. So thank you very much, Fernando. We'll let him go, but it's great to talk through some of the technical parts of this course. It is going to be a very difficult course. As I said, I spoke to some of the other riders. If I can just go through, Andreas said that it's very fair and square. Roy said it's nice, technical, very few big jumps. Gilles just looked at me and went, it's huge. And obviously Gilles is bringing in Kalista, the 9-year-old, who's been phenomenal so far. But this might be probably her biggest test yet, I have to say, that we've seen of her anyway. I spoke to Ludger Beerbaum as well, and he said it's big, it's technical, and you can't get away with any weaknesses at all today. And as I said, Harry Smolder said it's a technical start, it's a very scopy middle, and a very technical end today. I think this course is going to have it all, Mark.
I like the answer of FMS, so Fernando Martinez Sommer, who said to you, when do we ever not have these kind of requirements? As you pointed out, this is a 5-star LGCT Grand Prix. This is as big as it gets. This is as challenging as it gets. And to Fernando's point, this is what is expected of the best riders in the world. Rosie Turner, thank you very much. We'll let you get back into position. She'll be catching up with all of the riders after their rounds to try and get some reaction for us throughout the afternoon. Let's talk about former champions here in Valkenswaard. Let's talk about riders that have come here in the past and have conquered this incredibly large, beautiful grass ring. Dating back many years now, here's some reaction and some reflection on some of those riders that have been the best of the best here in Valkenswaard. We spoke about Michael van der Vleuten earlier on this afternoon. We had him in the 2019 champion. You'll find Lorenzo De Luca's name twice on this list. What about Sana Teysa? What a performance that was a couple of years ago. Michael Pender, very young at the time, winning here in Valkenswaard. No surprises to see Ben Meyer. Feels like he's won at every single stage. A victory for Ben Meyer back in 2021. And Daniel Deusser as well, when there were 2 Valkenswaard shows that year. Also, some interesting names there as well. Marco Kutscher, Christian Allman, dating back to 2014. So there have been some very impressive performances here. The big question now is 2025 remains open. 2025 has that question mark. And we'll find out by the end of the afternoon as to who then will join that list of former champions. The Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Valkenswaard is next.